So now my topic is concerning the about I'm not finished with this Moab. I'm still in Moab, meditating from this all the week. Not Moab, I mean Balak, the Parashah Balak. Balak and Pinha is a really beautiful teaching, very beautiful teaching that you can learn and apply sa atong life. So and I am not finished with that. I'm still meditating because they are so good to grasp and to learn the Parashah. Shalom mga kapatid. So I'm still not finished with this Parashah Balak, Parashah Pinhas. Is a very, for me, is very beautiful Parashah that you can learn a lot to, when you're looking for and I will give a when you're looking mo mag-mine ka, when you are mining under the earth, you dig there, you dig to find this glimpse of the mag-shine siya, mag-shine yung mga stones like diamond, yun, paghanap ka doon, mga precious stones, what I mean, yung precious stones under when you are mining under the earth. So ganon din sa Torah. Why? Because when we have the good, if we are really seeking for the kingdom of Elohim, you can really ma-attract yung natin, yung good soul, yung divine soul what we receive from the light of Elohim. Ma-attract yun. Because I said many times that we are in duality in us. We have twin in us, the evil and the good inclination, which is represent ito ng the divine soul and the animal soul. So this is the battle of the two, and this what shall speak about that concerning the flesh and the spirit, because this spirit comes from the light of Elohim. It's a light of Elohim. Why this? Because there's life in the spirit of Elohim through Mashiach, because he's our mediator to help us to understand, to help us to reconnect to the Father. So because we were cut the cords from Elohim because of the sin, and this is from our flesh. When we were not called, as Yahweh said, you had no Elohim before, until Elohim has drawn us to come to his covenant through Mashiach. So now, what I said at I'm still na-stuck pa ko sa Parashah Balak and Pinha. So now I will use this I think this part of the scene in the, I don't know if it's in Balak or no, it is in Balak. Okay, it was in Balak that the children of Israel was approaching to the land of Moab. So now that was the start, therefore, trying to stumble the children of Israel, because Balak, he doesn't want that the children of Israel will pass in his lot. So now in his territory. So he wants, because he's afraid that he will be killed like they did before. If you read the story before the last Parsha from that, they killed all these kings. The children are killed, and this is why Balak was afraid to pass on that he will also kill him. So ayun, the children of Israel is about to approach in the territory of Moab. So now Balak is really terrifying from that he's scared, afraid of the children of Israel. So he's trying he hired Bilaam to curse the children of Israel. So now this is my understanding. For now, this is my understanding. So because when I'm learning things about the Torah, this is I always look at how to apply that in my life, because the purpose of the Torah is to renew ourselves, to renew our soul. That is the reason that the Torah of Elohim is perfect, that convert our soul. So this is why every time when we meditate the Torah, it is something good for our soul and our good side, the divine soul, that to be nourished from the Torah through Mashiach, because from that is a lot to remove all this impurity. This same as I said in the The same as I said with the precious stones. You cannot have a perfect precious stones, but you can get the stone, but you have to remove the impurities around from these stones before you can glimpse, or before they can shine. The same. So this is why the same po na sa in us to apply, because we are many impurities in life that we need to remove that to house cleaning. This is called what Yeshua said, house cleaning ni sa ato ang within ourselves, with our thoughts. Number one, here is the place of the Keter, which is called the will. Not the will, this is the strong. The will must be driven by the will of the good inclination, not this animal, not this evil inclination, not the animal soul will drive us from that. It must be in the knowledge of the light of Elohim, which is the Torah, through Mashiach. So now, the Torah, as I said, Moab is afraid. This is my understanding. I'm trying to go deeper from the study of this Balak and the king of Moab and the children of Israel. So as the children of Israel is approaching or to his territory. Now this is, we can read that somewhere. You can read that. We're gonna read that. So we can see that Balak was very afraid. Very afraid. This is, he want to curse, but the children of Israel were blessed by Elohim. So the blessing of Elohim is forever. This is the promise of Elohim to Abraham. You have to know what is the blessing of Elohim unto the descendants of Jacob. This is from Abraham's blessing he received from Elohim. What is written in Genesis? I will bless you, those who bless you, and I will curse you. I will curse those who will curse you. But in Hebrew, it's a wrong translation. Actually, it is those who despise you, I will despise also. So that is the real translation of that. Not the cursed, but despise. Elohim will despise those who will despise you also. So this is why when we are blessed by Elohim, nothing can touch the house of Israel. When we are ihad, when the children of Israel is ihad unto Elohim through Mashiach, nobody can touch that. Nobody can touch. But now we have Mashiach. We have Yeshua who bring us into one unto Elohim, unto the Father. So if you are in this boat of Messiah, the body of Messiah, he is the leader, then we are in ihad of the Father. He did his part, but we have to do also our part. We have many things to do on our part to be joined in this the temple of Elohim, which is ministering by Yeshua in the heavenly places, as he is the high priest. Now, in the Moab, you have to know the story of Moab. Moab is the son of Lot through her daughter, because when they came out, they left Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was left him, Lot, and here her children, the two girls he has. So Lot had a descendants Moab and Ammonite. So we focus from Moab. From that, Lot was a nephew of Abraham. Abraham was adapt siya because he was adopted by Abraham because of the father. I think his father is whose name was that? I don't remember. That was killed in the persecution of Nimrod. So we don't have to. It's not a topic for now. And they were together. They were together with Abraham and Lot. So it happened that they were tribes nila are there was argumentation because of from the flocks. So they decide to one another to split, diba? Nag-split sila. So Abraham was showing to Lot he has to choose which way he's going. So Lot was choosing the way what he's so very what is good for his flocks. You see the attitude of Abraham, because of his imuna unto Elohim, he has nothing to worry wherever he goes, right? He is not selfish to say, oh, pamangkin, dito ka, akin lang ito. That is if you can see the attitude of Abraham is really selfless. Why he's selfless? Because this is his relationship to the Father, to the heavenly Creator, to Elohim is he has nothing to worry because he knows that Elohim can provide for his what is good for him. He trusts him. So this is why, as a, supposed to be, as a older, should guide you. He is the one who make yung, masabi natin yan, you must priority mong sarili mo. You prioritize yourself. But Abraham never did that to Lot. He didn't do that to Lot. He let Lot choose to which way he is going. But Lot is looking the difference there. So these two person, Lot and Abraham, when they come to this decision, is I catch that as a good and evil. So we cannot the evil is a very complex yan. Evil inclination. We say evil inclination is work in our flesh, in the natural. Lot is looking in his own eyes, what he saw, physical, natural, in the natural eyes, that what he thought in his thought that could good for his flocks. But Abraham was not so. Abraham represents the good. He's representing the good of good inclination. He is in the good and or the spirit, and the flesh is represented by Lot. So now, what is the connection with the Moab? The connection of Moab. This is in the soul level. For me, this is a soul level. It means the hidden things. Elohim has hide the mystery of the Torah, the spirit of the Torah. When the children of Israel, they just came from the overcoming from all the enemies of this nation. They were beaten or they fight, so they overcome, they win against them. When the children of Israel approaching to Moab's territory, Balak's territory as a king of Moab, he is afraid. He said, they will kill us. They will kill us, the children of Israel, they will kill us. Now, in my understanding, Moab as the son of Lot is also represent the evil inclination. The evil inclination of inside of us. The evil inclination. The fleshy will be defeated by the blessing of as an Israel. When we overcome of our flesh, we become become Israel. How does Jacob overcome himself? By his fear, by truth. He fight in this when he meet this by his prayer, his imuna. His imuna. He overcome this fleshy or fear by the prayers when he trust to the promises of Elohim. So the same, like what happened, the children of Israel and Moab, Balak, represent that Balak was very afraid of killing of his territory. He's that he's going to be killed. It represents our natural, our fleshy person, that to be killed by the blessed Israel in us, the divine soul in us, that it will be killed by the imuna. Because when we are in blessed of Elohim, because of our imuna unto Elohim, who is the one who directs his light unto us through Mashiach, then we overcome with our flesh. We want to kill this fleshy desire, not of lust of the flesh. It is written, said about our fleshy desire, the spirit, the fruit of the flesh, to be killed also na siya, to be killed, so that we can be a living sacrifice unto Elohim. If you read in Romans 12, with our self, that so that we will be a pleasing unto Elohim. That was also represent siya yun sa ang Moab. There's meaning in Moab in Hebrew. Much more you can learn from Hebrew, because Hebrew is very clear for the Yehudi when you study the Hebrew meaning, the Hebrew understanding is different when we approach in English. But we can learn because step by step that we can apply that in our life. So this is the fear of Balak to be killed. This is why there is the battle between them. But in the first place, when children of Israel is blessed by Elohim from our father Abraham down to Jacob, is forever. So now, in order to to be the remaining of the blessing of Elohim, we have to rid off all this what is from the fleshy desire na to, mga lust na to is written. The fruit of the flesh must be rid out, because we have to learn that to remove, because very important. That is our that represent our, you know, our fleshy, physical, not earthly vessel. So what is not pleasing unto the Father. So this is why for us we need to rid off all those, so that we be purified unto Mashiach, and to be ihad of Elohim, because all these impurities in life, nato, especially in these thoughts, it can also what is our diseases, what will make us needs a healing. This way, with the following from Parashah Balak to Pinha is powerful Parashah, because Pinha represent also Mashiach, who kill the you know, which is represent this sexual immorality from the children of Israel. Our flesh is always our flesh, men and women. It was first in the men, right? It is the men there to stop the sexual immorality from fornicating the Moab, and at the same time the idolatry, when they submitted themselves to the Moabites, to, you know, to worship in their Elohim. So they were something problem them, because of this is called a mental diseases in what they understood in the Jewish teaching of the Parashah. So Yeshua is he did miracles. He did miracles to how you call it, to heal the children of Israel when the first coming, when he in Matthew he healed many, he did miracle. He is the one, the healer of the sick. Why? Because he is the representation of, because the soul of the Torah is in Mashiach, is in the physical body of Yeshua. This is why he is in the higher level of soul. He's not in the soul of the nefesh. You have to understand the teaching of the in the Jewish teaching, there are different level of soul. So Yeshua is in the higher soul, which is called the Yedida. So this way he can perform miracles. The Torah is a healing. When you yourself, because the Torah is our garment to the entry of in the Garden of Eden. So this is why when Mashiach come back, when Yeshua come back, we will continue with the learning of the Torah, because it will be perfecting with our of course it's a body of not affected anymore in the physical world when we are in Mashiach, when we are in Mashiach, because it will change. This is we will not have this for the second death, because we overcome from that. We overcome either by death, to die ourselves, or to work out now, and to continue to nourish our soul, as the Torah is our to be our garment to wear for this fleshy, so that we can overcome, we master the fleshy desire, what is not all this from the earthly things. So this is the work of Mashiach. This is why we also will do our part to nourish ourselves, that we will be perfecting our soul, and we can master all these impurities in our life by the help of Elohim through Mashiach. Well, it is written, Shaul said, you have to remember what Shaul said, it is Elohim will give the increase, and Apollo water, the word of the Brit Kadasha, the teaching of Yeshua and the apostles, Shaul, they are the one who water that, and we the one to work out ourselves and cultivate with the Torah, so that Elohim can increase in our life. So this is the soul of the Torah, that to kill the Moab in our life, the which is the fleshy, the flesh, the fruit of the flesh, the flesh is to rid off, because they cannot. It is written in Revelation, we cannot enter to the kingdom of Elohim. We can read that, and it's beautiful. This is why beautiful, but it's a lot of work. If we are willing to change ourselves, to better ourselves unto Elohim, we have to work out that. This is why this teaching of Pinhas is really the ego. The ego must be killed, because that is idolatry. Idolatry na you yourself, I. No, when we are Mashiach, we are no more I. It is not us. It is Elohim work in us to do good. How can Elohim work in us to do good? By only nourishing us in the Torah. through Mashiach, so that we can be a good vessel, a vessel of honor unto Elohim. This is, we need a willingness. I said, I would like your ways, Elohim. So this is why the ego-centered, egoist na to, atong I na to, must be put down. Put down all this. Number one sa flesh is the thoughts. What is in the Pinha is about sexual immorality, which is really our pertain from the foundation of the organ, which is the lust of the flesh, and also the idolatry. It becomes an idolatry when we ourselves, we will not submit this I, the ego centered in us individually. We have an ego, because if we have an ego that is not submitted to the Torah of Elohim through Messiah, then we cannot be one unto Elohim. We cannot. It must be removed, because Elohim cannot work out if we will be always the one who, our I is the one will mo master over the spirit, which is in Mashiach. So this is why we have to learn. That is a process of learning in life, why we have a life. When buhay pa tayo, yan is a process of life. So you need to learn. I don't say you, we, because if we want to be a stone in the body of Messiah, in the temple of Elohim, everyone must to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. But it's through the help of Elohim, we always begging for mercy, that He will help us to go through all, or to overcome those at our shortness before Him. So through Mashiach, He can, of course He can, by through the word and trusting faith unto Elohim, that He is able, can drive us to be had in the light of Elohim, as who gives life and gives the breath of life. Shalom, shalom.